Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, where our goal is to expand your focus and perspective on life. This is your daily dose of motivation, mindfulness, and so much more. And now, here to help you take your day back, your host, Dan Hafner.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Xanda Zone. You probably thought you were listening to the wrong podcast, didn't you? Welcome into the Run Your Day podcast, everyone. Just a little bit of humor to start your Friday there today. This is Dan Hafner. Welcome into another show, part four of this 6-part series. Today's topic is this: plant your feet in the ground. As always, thank you all for joining. I assure you you're on the right podcast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Okay, so a little bit of a recap here. We walked through living consciously. We walked through accepting yourself, and we walked through getting responsible. The fourth topic inside of this is self-assertiveness. And basically, what I interpret self-assertiveness to mean is the ability for you to really just be authentically projecting your real self out into the world, like your innermost self, not a fake version of you, not a filtered version of you, which all of us are guilty of. Like at one point in your life, you have projected a filtered image. You probably do this every day to certain people. You ever notice how you act certain ways around your boss rather than your coworker? You act certain ways around your guy friends rather than your wife or your girlfriend, or vice versa, right? You know, we kind of put on a different face for different people. And at the end of the day, I think that's really detrimental. I think that's really detrimental to all of us because you become a different person in the process of all of that. Like you have to remember different stories you tell, different lies you've told, different personas, right? Instead of just like being the 100% you at all times, and then you never have to worry about like being different or remembering a story a different way, right? It's a lot less stressful. You know, I think that would actually cut out a lot of stress in a lot of our lives. If you could just be 100% you, just 100%, right? But how do you actually pull that off? Like, how do you get down to the core of, hey, you know what? This is me. Like, this is what I want. This is what I desire. This is, what I hate. This is what I love. It's really, really tough. Like, you really have to kind of go on an inward journey for this. I mean, that does not sound as corny as possible. Like, you just really have to figure out what's important to you. Like an example of me I can share with you is, for a long time, I I hid who I truly was. Like I hid from the world, my ability to do this type of stuff, my ability to actually come on a podcast and actually do this kind of stuff. And I never knew that this was something I would end up doing, but I would literally have these types of conversations with myself in private. Like I would just sit there and just talk to myself. Like it was it was weird at the time. I would just sit and and talk through these same exact things like I was talking to someone else. I did. Hell, I still do it sometimes. But like at least I've come through to this place of being like, you know what? Like this is just me. This is just who I am. It's not wrong. It's not right. It's just authentic. It's just like this is Dan. This is me. This is the shit that goes on in my head. This is what my life looks like. This is it. Right? And it really it's hard. It's hard to come out of that shell. Like it's a very difficult process to go through. And don't get me wrong, I'm by no means an expert and I've gone through all of this, but I've definitely taken a lot more steps probably than a lot of you listening. And what I can tell you from my experience is that just like the title, you just have to plant your feet in the ground one day and just be like, this is me, this is what I am, this is what I do, and not be embarrassed of it, not be ashamed of it. Like, it's very easy to be ashamed of something you want. Like, this world kind of teaches us a lot in a lot of different ways that you shouldn't want excess. You shouldn't want certain things. You should strive for certain things in your life. Well, that's stupid, right? Like, the world doesn't know who you are, what you want, what you desire. Only you know. I don't have any idea what you want. Only you know exactly what you're capable of and what you can do. You, not anyone else, not your parents, not your spouse, not your girlfriend, not your boyfriend, not your dog, not anyone. Only you know. Only you know inside of your head. That's it. Like, that, end of story. Period. Mic drop. Right? And if you guys have been paying attention to the rest of this week, living consciously kind of conflicts with this, right? Like, living consciously kind of makes you aware to the social norms, to being, part of a community, being part of the world, being part of something bigger than yourself. So when you start to become self-assertive, it starts to conflict with that sometimes, right? Like, you start to be like, well, if I'm living consciously, I should be falling in line with this type of thinking and this type of acting, but it's not really what I want. So which is more important, right? Like, living consciously or being self-assertive? And what I can tell you is, your self-esteem will actually rise the more assertive you can be. And it's something I'm experiencing right now. It's something I've experienced in the past and have fallen off. Like, I've been through this cycle. And I know that the more you're willing to just take a stand for who you are, what you believe, what you do, and what you want to be, the better you'll feel about yourself, because you're not lying to yourself, right? When you're not assertive, you're just not lying to yourself. And there's a lot of dilemmas that come up in life that kind of test this, and they test your resolve, and they test your ability to really be authentic in this. Like, say, for example, say you have kids. I don't have kids, but say you promise your kids you're going to take them out on to the water park on the weekend, but your boss is telling you, like, hey, you got to come in this Saturday. You're up for a big promotion. Like, we really need you. We got this last minute project due. Like, you're the person. We need you here. Like what do you do? Do you bail on your kids? Do you bail on your wife, or I'm sorry, your boss? Right? Like, it's these moments that are defining, that really determine if you say you're an assertive person, and you said, I'm taking my kids to this no matter what. Do you really? Like, do you in that moment say, like, forsaking that, future promotion, future extra money to give your kids a better life? What do you do? Right? It's these different dilemmas in life that test your assertiveness, that test, they reveal what you're truly made of, who you truly are, and what you truly believe, because you will act in accordance with those. You will. It's the simple truth. So my question for you guys today as we wrap up is this: where in your life are you not being self-assertive? Where in your life are you not being self-assertive? Is it somewhere in a career, inside of your body, your fitness, your health, in a relationship? Like, where is it? Where are you not telling the truth about what you really want? And it's leading to you not being able to actually get that. Ask yourself that question. It's a deep one. A lot of these I try to make as deep as possible, but think about this, because the more you can get, the more clear you can get on who you are, what you want, and where you're going, the more assertive you can be, and the better you'll feel, the happier you'll be. All right, everyone. So that's going to wrap up today's show. As always, thank you all for joining for part 4 of this 6-part series. We'll continue on a couple of part 5 and 6 here next week. So be sure to tune in. They're going to be pretty cool to wrap up this little 6-part series I've been doing here. As always, thank you all for joining. Have a great rest of your day, a great weekend. Get out there and kick some ass. Dan Hafner signing off. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.